Number 1. A woman committed suicide after a bizarre encounter. Elizabeth Murray had a traumatic incident in 2012. She called her husband Scott one day, and he was rushed home to find her dazed in an intense emotional state. He took her to the hospital, where doctors determined if she had suffered any serious injuries. Murray hadn't been drugged or raped, but she did have a large burn on her shoulder. Scott later found similar burns in his backyard and on his tree. Murray eventually saw a hypnotist specializing in regression who helped her remember a terrifying abduction by aliens. She recalled the aliens experimenting on her, and the trauma of the supposed event was so great that she immediately ended her own life. Number 2. The crash in Texas. In 1897, a cigar-shaped UFO supposedly crashed into a windmill. This happened in Aurora, Texas. The incident was reported in the April 19 edition of Dallas Morning News. A few days after the crash, a man found a massive creature eating out of his trash can. As he approached, the figure seemed to notice him, and the next thing he knew, he was being probed. When he suddenly woke up, he noticed the mysterious creature staring into his face. The last thing he remembered was waking up with a massive unibrow and a missing finger. Number 3. The alien found in the driveway. One day, an Alabama woman heard a knock on her door. As she opened it, she realized there was nothing there. But as she looked further into the road, she noticed something walking right outside of her driveway. As curious as she was, she decided to just go back to sleep. As she woke up again, she heard some strange noises. She went to go downstairs and check. As she suddenly walked down, she saw 3 random figures standing down the hallway. She didn't remember anything after that, but when she woke up, she couldn't see a thing. She started freaking out, and the neighbors decided to take her to the hospital. She said she felt unharmed. They decided to do many tests on her, which all came back positive. There was no record of her being seen after all the tests. It's scary to think about what happened to all these innocent people. But who knows? Maybe it could happen to you. Number 4. Jesse Long. Long claimed he's been abducted many times since childhood. Beginning in 1957, at 5 years old, he was examined by aliens who took him and inserted a mysterious object into his leg. He also said he was forced to have sexual relations with a female alien. Number 5. The pilot that disappeared in the thin air. In October 1978, an amateur pilot disappeared while flying over the Bass Strait in Australia. Despite all the assurances from air traffic control, there were no other aircrafts in his vicinity. The 20-year-old maintained that he was being followed by a huge craft that didn't look like a conventional plane. It continued to track him for several minutes before it was reported that his engine was malfunctioning. All contact was lost with him. Operators then heard a 17-second long metallic scraping sound. No sign of the pilot or his plane was ever found. Suddenly, when he woke up, he noticed an alien staring right into his... He didn't remember anything after that. The only thing he could remember is waking up with a massive